Everyone in this world is going to have an opinion. What you need to remember is that yours is what matters most. Sure, everyone is going to have their opinion on things, and their opinions are definitely going to matter, but they only matter as much as you allow them to. And at the same time, they technically don't even matter at all because if you have the mindset to nullify the words of others, then only your opinion will ever matter. It's like a perception game. It's really all in your head. So, say you feel like you're getting bullied at school, and I'm not talking about physical bullying because, well, you're an obvious victim in those cases and you have the physical bruises to prove it. But in the cases of verbal bullying or mental bullying, the scars are not visible. They are hidden scars that manifest themselves if you allow them to. And that's the trick. You have to allow them to. And if you don't allow them to, then, well, you got no problems then. We have to remember that words are just words. They're just frequencies that our mouths make, and the fact that we comprehend each other is sort of magical because our mouths, our lip flaps, are just creating these frequencies, like sound waves that our ears pick up and then our brains translate into like information that is conceivable to us, you know? I think that's why the forming of words is called spelling, because it's freaking magic. Everything is a sort of frequency, and, well, I guess audible frequencies are just one of the easiest examples to point out. And just like all magic, it's all in perception. The words mean what you allow them to mean. And if you take them to heart, then they mean more to you than you think. Or maybe they just mean so much to you, and that's how you allow them to, well, affect you. And I get it. Humans are tribal, so we all really crave acceptance every once in a while, some more than others. Some, well, most people feel the need to belong. They don't want to be alone. They can't comprehend loneliness because they fear the unknown. They don't know what will happen if they're alone. They don't want to die alone. Just think about it. Like, if you have no idea what happens in the afterlife, you don't even know if there is an afterlife, you just don't know what happens after you die, period. You wouldn't want to be alone, man. Like, that would be heartbreaking. You'd just be there by yourself, just alone with your thoughts, you know? You'd be forced to introspect, and you'd be forced to think. And, well, I guess to avoid thinking, people will do anything, and that includes being tribal. And being tribal isn't necessarily bad. Some people require tribes, and some people are part of tribes and don't even know it. But the thing is, tribes can be very dangerous if we allow them to be. If we fall into that acceptance game, like if we fall into it so hard that we stop being our individual selves, like we lose our individuality, that's not right anymore. Like, it's just not a good thing. People need to express their true authentic selves, and tribalism really takes that away because people worry about the views of others, and if people believe that their actions will bring negative opinions onto themselves, then they're more than likely not going to do it. And say they don't even think it's a bad thing that they're doing, like they're just praying, like let's say a religious person prays a lot and they don't see anything wrong with it, but everyone around them is atheists and they'll be told their whole life that praying is weird and they should just stop because they're weird and creeping people out. And eventually that could get to their head and then they'll stop. That's just an example, but there's so many more. And that's not to say that a religious person would just drop their faith that easily. I know some people of faith who wouldn't do it that easily. They'd see it as like a test or something. But it was just an example I wanted to give that seemed easiest to pick from the bunch. So that's honestly just how tribalism can be a bad thing. But at the same time, it can be a good thing if we allow it to be. Like, we can have, like, communities and families, extended families to be around, you know? It's a two-sided coin, but pretty much everything has two sides to it, light and dark. And you just need to have the eyes to see, and you need to be able to see in order to be able to decide for yourself what you truly want. So, on one hand, you can accept tribalism and you can allow the words of others to get to you. You can allow the opinions of others to affect you negatively. And at the same time, you'll obviously get the positive effects too of those opinions. Like, say you get positive criticism, boom, you can work on that positive criticism. But there's another path you could take too, and that's ignoring tribalism altogether, where you just completely ignore everyone's opinions and just be yourself and just do you. Just stop caring about what everybody else thinks and just realize that we're all going to live life the way we want to live it. Everyone's going to have an opinion on how they should live life, but in all honesty, their opinions should just stick with themselves because, sure, that's how they view life, but they should live it that way if that's truly what they believe a good life is supposed to be. And just allow other people to lead their best possible lives. But there is also a middle ground where you both do and don't accept tribalism. So you accept it for the good things, like the positive criticism and the good opinions and the family and the extended family, the bonds. You stick with it for the bonds, but you don't allow those bonds to drag you down, and you don't allow yourself to fall into anything. So you don't allow yourself to fall into negativity through negative opinions, and you don't allow yourself to be swayed by the masses. So, like, say they want you to do something, but you don't really feel like you want to do it. You shouldn't have to. You do what you want to do. You don't do things because everyone else is doing it. Just be free to do whatever the hell you want. And just let everybody else do whatever the hell they want. Everyone's going to choose what they want to do. And so long as they're not imposing on the rights of others, hell, let them do what they want. As long as they're not hurting anyone, so long as they're not taking away anyone else's freedoms, hey, let them be free. Well, thank you for taking the time to listen to this video, and I hope you guys have a good one. Stay safe out there.